that's the game. That's what we're all after.
Yeah.
Right? Is hitting that joy and knowing, being aware of your feelings and going, wow, this one feels really good. And then go, wow, I'm on to something because this is bringing me a lot of joy.
And
Well, hello, Steve.
well, good day, Steve. How are you doing?
I'm doing terrific.
We have a new little guest here today.
You have a guest?
Yes.
Who is this little one?
This little one is Chechi. Chechi Rose, can you look at the camera? Well, you're pretty interested in
Pretty
that.
focused on me.
You're pretty. Maybe your mama could call you or something.
She's not.
Cecilia.
She's not.
Cecilia.
She's not. Oh, there she goes.
So, well, Steve, how are you doing?
Great. We probably should welcome people to our
We
show.
should welcome people. Chechi, can you welcome everybody? Subscribe. If you subscribe, I'll send you something.
Yeah.
I'll send you something.
Well, maybe Mom could grab her and we can get started on the show.
All righty.
So, welcome to the Steve and Steve Show. I'm Steve,
Hi, Steve.
and this is.
Steve, I'm Steve. That was Chechi Rose. Steve, that's my first grandbaby.
She's precious.
You know, I tell you, they all say, you've heard the cliche about, oh, your grandchildren are the greatest thing ever. And it's kind of a cliche. But I kid you not, that little baby showed up in our lives and it was like it's amazing. It's
Yeah.
better than, I say it's better than any coffee. It's better than anything, better than just about anything out there. She comes down in the morning because they happen to be living here with us because of all the stuff that happened with the COVID virus and things like that. But man, it's just a wonderful sunny morning when she comes down with a big smile.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
It really is.
Very cool. Very cool.
On that note, what do we? Oh, subscribe.
Yep. So
Tell your friends.
So thank you for
Thank
watching
you.
today's show. And if you discovered us, please hit the subscribe button down below and comment, like, share, do all those great things to help
Yeah.
us out. We certainly appreciate that.
And help you out. More people that talk, more people that comment, the bigger the kind of mastermind that comes out of even this.
Yeah, yeah.
So
We prior to hitting the record button, we had a topic, but I'm gonna switch it up.
this is really something. He does this. We said this is raw. Who knows what this is going to be now?
Yeah, so just inspiration. I think Cheche did some inspiration.
All
there.
right.
So,
What did little Cecilia Rose do?
So I thought it would be great, since there is a lot of chaotic stuff going on in today's world with this virus, the protesting, the riots, it being a political season for us with the presidential election coming. So with Cheche, I noticed deep down that you were getting an extreme amount of joy. And so that's the topic of today.
Joy. Where does joy come from?
Yeah, like what's I mean,
Yeah.
Cheche is certainly a
Yeah.
grand source of joy for you, but what other things what are the things that you do to bring joy into your life?
Yeah, no, that's a great topic. Actually, that isn't even hitting us from out of the blue on that. I like this topic. So, and maybe I can add to this. Again, we're off the cuff here, but maybe I can add this. What is this kind of natural joy, right? Where, and I like just surprised by joy. And I'll tell you, Chechi, without a doubt, that was. I shouldn't have been surprised because you hear about how beautiful baby grandbabies are and all. But I just like every morning, it's this light up. And I don't know if you kind of saw it when I'm next to it. It's just this new life that is, so excited, dependent. And so obviously that's a real joy to me for sure. But another thing that I would say in mind that really brings joy is another kind of surprise. And for me, I'm Catholic and I practice my faith, as do you.
Yep.
I always say surprised by grace. And I'll get these moments, because many times I can be, what is going on in this political environment, or these circumstances that came and really are not good. We just had a dishwasher that went out, so now we got to buy another dishwasher, another expense that we weren't looking at. So the kinds of circumstances, and those are minor, the circumstances from that to really, death or something like that come along, are almost things that we expect, right? It's like, okay, when's the next thunderstorm going to happen?
Right.
But these moments of ecstatic joy that come as a surprise, that I would call like graces of God, are probably one of the most amazing things for me. Let me give you one example, and then I'll ask you. What adoration is. So adoration is where we go and we adore the Blessed Sacrament of our Lord in an adoration chapel. And I have done that for many years.
Yeah, so hold your thought there, but to kind of explain that a little bit more. In the adoration chapel, there is a consecrated host, right? And when we say consecrated host, it's
real presence.
If you're not Catholic, it's the
what looks as the bread.
What do they call it? The bread? Yeah, the a wafer, right? A white wafer, and it's bread. But once the priest has consecrated it, then as Catholics we believe that contains God.
It's the real presence of Christ,
right? Mm-hmm. And so they put that into
a monstrance,
which is kind of on display. Holder for the consecrated host, and so when we're in the adoration chapel, we are sitting with God,
right? And that obviously there's a lot of mystery around that. So, and we don't mean to.
And there's miracle after miracle. If you want to look up, I think it's a bloody host.
Yeah, well, the bleeding
host.
Yeah.
So if you look that up onto a Google, you'll see pictures. And articles about the different miracles around this concept that we're talking about, but that's kind of the adoration you're talking about. So,
right,
jumping back into your.
Thank you for the context, and please, with full respect to all of you folks out there that may not be Catholic, may not be Christian, may not be. We're just talking about this. We're raw, so I had no idea we were going to talk about this. But anyway, I was in there, and usually I'm in there for like maybe an hour or so, and it's a time of incredible quiet, solitude, and communion with the eternal creator of the universe, what I believe. I leave there, and I'm at a pretty deep sense of peace, and I'm walking outside, and I'm kind of thinking about what I was thinking about, and I'm seeing it was a nice, beautiful day and all, and I look down on the ground, and there somehow the sun shined down on this little piece of blue glass. And it caught my eye, and I went right to it, and I kid you not, it was in a moment a sense of communion with God. And there was this surprised by grace in that moment, and it overwhelmed me with this kind of joy that you asked about here. The exact same kind of joy that I had with Chechi, with baby Cecilia, right here. It's that same kind of sense of just overwhelming joy.
Yeah.
And that was the tiniest little thing. Where did it come from in my... It was
something personal to you.
Very personal, exactly.
Something personal to you that it symbolizes something else to you, and that's where the joy came out of. But that symbol of that hit you at that moment,
that blue piece of glass to this day.
But you were thinking of something else
maybe
with that. From I remember the full story, but there is certainly a grand feeling of just your heart just illuminating, just this
a fountain,
pure, it's just a pure happiness. And we use the word joy because joy to me is like a higher level of happiness.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
it's almost like they talk about ecstasy and
bliss. Yeah. It's just this incredible thing. And that I don't know if I've done it on these videos, but we've talked about my personal soul's genius, or my soul's
Your why.
genius, my why, and it's really around joyful experiences. And for me, it's a lot of experiences. But I was watching a movie yesterday, and it was around Think and Grow Rich.
Okay.
And
which is Napoleon Hill.
It's Napoleon Hill.
If you haven't read it, great book.
So there's a movie out there if you can find it. It's called the Think and Grow Rich Legacy. And they did a really good job at reenacting some different things. But what brings out that joy for me is seeing other people succeed.
Oh, wow.
Seeing other people hit their goals and their big dreams, right? My daughter just graduated from high school.
Congratulations.
And every time I think about that,
It wells up.
Yep, I'm there now.
Right.
So, and then watching a young man or a boy turn into a man in the act of earning his Eagle Scout rank.
Yeah.
That brings a lot of joy.
Okay.
Because that's that progression of hard work, determination, persistence, consistency, not giving up, and getting something that they envisioned many years ago, right? And it's just that pure, like, wow, they did it. So pulling back to the joy, right? If that's the game. That's what we're all after.
Yeah.
Right? Is hitting that joy and knowing, being aware of your feelings and going, wow, this one feels really good. And then go, wow, I'm on to something because this is bringing me a lot of joy.
And isn't that very different than, say, pleasure? Which pleasure is about me taking from whatever the situation or the person for my own benefit.
That's an immediate
satisfaction,
like,
almost.
Satisfaction.
Or not even just
to me, it's like a Band-Aid to
I agree.
a root issue.
Totally.
Right? And I think a lot of people look for escape.
Yeah.
Right? And
That's
I'm
really-
guilty. I love movies.
I love food.
I get a lot of satisfaction out of movies, and that's my escape from reality.
Yeah.
And I know there's other people that their escape is maybe alcohol or drugs.
Right. Right.
And
Food.
but joy comes. To me, joy comes from the graces of God.
I totally agree
right?
with you.
And so when you feel that, not just being happy, but that extra level of joyfulness, that's you're on the right track when you feel that.
I agree, and so it's interesting because if you kind of juxtapose or compare pleasure with joy, on the one hand, there's a lot of pleasurable experiences that you may actually get an incredible joy somewhere in there, but joy is always a surprise. Would you not agree? Or many times a surprise.
It surprises it when joy just shows up, right?
Right.
And that's the surprise.
Yeah.
But I think if you know what makes you get into that joyful state, then you can kind of like
set up the environment to.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's that kind of that mastery of knowing your emotional intelligence and being aware and knowing how you operate. You can operate from a place of joy
And set up the environment that joy can well up a lot easier, say, than in another kind of environment.
Yeah.
So.
Like your, Chechi,
Yeah.
grandchild. You know, as soon as you get within a certain content of her,
It's
right, thinking about her, or even in her presence, that you know that there's going to be some extra joy coming out.
I come down the stairs, let's say, or actually it's usually I'm down here already, and she comes down the stairs in the morning, and everything that I'm doing turns and it lights up, kind of like what you saw there. It lights up into this,
Yeah.
So I can anticipate it. I can say, ooh, I wonder when Chechi's going to come too,
Right.
So there are ways. It's not always only a surprise, but the feeling of joy is always surprising, I would say.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway.
this was quite the topic.
Yeah.
because
was.
it wasn't something we had planned, but the inspiration
Not
was
at
there, so
all.
we had to
Good
go.
inspiration and good inspiration, Steve. Cheers.
Before we do the
Oh,
cheers,
yeah.
if you enjoyed this topic, and if you got some joy out of it,
Yeah, and you want to get joy to other people,
that's right.
why joyfully subscribe and send it to everybody you know.
Yeah, share, like, certainly comment if you really enjoyed this one. We certainly appreciate all the comments we do get. We certainly appreciate you taking the time to watch us. So, all right, Steve.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Till next time.
Enjoy.